I've known Helen a long time. We've served on the board of the Peninsula Healthcare District for 14 years. Helen has been, in my opinion, one of the, if not the most valuable board member in my experience. She always had insightful comments. She was, I believe, the most well-prepared member of the board. She read every word in our voluminous board packets and had questions on a lot of the things.
I served for many years on the Peninsula Healthcare District Board alongside Helen Galligan. And I'm here to pay tribute to her long and distinguished service. One of the things that I'm so proud of as a board member is my recruitment of Helen for the board. I was aware of Helen's background and experience as a nurse, and I felt that her perspective would be very important for the board. Helen exceeded my expectations. Her preparation for board meetings, her sincere dedication to the people of the district, her very thoughtful contributions to board discussion, and her common sense were well above what I had anticipated.
Helen is a wife, mother, stepmother, grandmother, nurse, friend, and the best dog owner any little puppy could ever have. I first met Helen 15 and a half years ago. It was my very first recruitment interview with two board members, the doctor and the nurse. And I don't remember the questions they asked me, but they made me so comfortable. And in fact, I think Helen was more nervous than I was in the interview because she had just joined the board months earlier. So she's been on 16 years and I came just a half year later.
Well, about 6 years ago, I was elected to the board of directors. And I was a real newbie. And I didn't know a lot of the terms, I didn't know a lot of the issues, certainly didn't know a lot of the answers. And before I had my first meeting, I looked on the list of who was on the board, and I saw the name Helen Galligan. And then I looked at the end of Helen's name, and there was a comma, and then there was the letters RN. And I said, wow, there's a nurse on that board. I said, now there's somebody that could really help me with her professional knowledge. And so starting with my first meeting and to today, I relied upon Helen for her professional knowledge and her professionalism. And it was very beneficial to me.
You know, she has a good heart. She is a nurse, and so it's hard to strike a balance sometimes in that particular job between fiscal prudence and generosity, and she was very good at finding the right balance. And like I said, I think she had a great heart. I'm gonna miss her. She's been a great colleague and a good supporter of the community. And if I had a magic wand, I would make it so she couldn't go.
Helen's a registered nurse, and my mom's a registered nurse as well. And in my experience, I find that people who do that kind of work or who have that kind of passion in life are very no nonsense, but also caring. And that's something that I've seen in Helen. When you ask Helen her opinion, she's going to give it to you, even if it's not what you might want to hear. But she's going to do it in a very warm and caring way. I've always found Helen really personable. I remember early on, she and Cheryl Feynman and I went to a conference about oral health care, and the chatting in the car was just fun and easy and comfortable.
Being the only female board member, I think, was very much empowering for all of us to want to get to that position one day. Helen, I wish you the best of luck and hope you enjoy your grandchildren and look forward to staying in touch.
Helen has a great personality, and I will miss her on the board, and I wish her all the best.
Helen, I just want to take this opportunity to wish you well in your future adventures. I very much appreciated your stalwart support for the Alcove project, and it's been a pleasure serving on the board with you since 2013. All the best, Helen.
Helen, I very much enjoyed the pleasure of serving with you, and I wish you well.
Helen, I wish you the best in your retirement from the Peninsula Healthcare District. As a San Mateo County resident, the 16 years that you've given to our county really have had an impact. And I wish you the best as you enjoy that grandbaby in North Carolina and starting a new connections and new community. They're very lucky to have you.
Helen, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you on the board. And we are really going to miss you. And I wish you all the best in whatever endeavors you decide to go out after this. And don't be a stranger. Stop by.
Helen, 3 things I want to thank you for very, very much. One is your lesson to me about how to really listen and speak only when you have something to say. The second was the power of your nonverbal expressions. You could say more with a look than most of us can say in 100 words. And I also think you were a model public servant. In your 15, 16 years, you have always been engaged, you were available, you participated, and you contributed to all that the district has accomplished while you were on the board.
And Helen, I have only one recommendation to you, and that is as you go through the next several years living in North Carolina and being there with your grandchildren, I would advise you to try to make sure that grandchildren do not grow up with a North Carolina accent. God bless.
I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Helen. I enjoyed coming to these board meetings. I enjoyed sitting on committees with you. I enjoyed listening to you, and I enjoyed having you as my friend.